It seems like the judge is against us every single step of the way, from the moment we start the case all the way throughout the entire case. Is it ever acceptable to get into a verbal argument and yell at the judge in front of the jury? Or even during private conversations with the other defense attorney present? You want to know the answer? Come join me for a moment as I share with you this incredible information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney practicing law in the state of New York. Let's make no bones about it. The answer is no, it is never acceptable for an attorney to yell at a judge under any circumstance. I don't care whether the judge disagrees. I don't care if the judge is yelling at me. It is never acceptable for me to yell back at the judge. You want to know why? The judge runs the courtroom. The judge runs the trial. The judge is the authority in that courtroom. And now, my goal, my obligation is to my client. I have an obligation to be respectful to the court. I have an obligation to be respectful to my adversary, believe it or not. And now, when we're in front of a jury, how do you think it's going to make me and my client look if I'm arguing verbally with the judge, if I'm yelling at the judge, even if I don't like the judge's rulings, even if I think the judge is totally against us and thinks we deserve to lose the case? I have no business whatsoever yelling at the judge. And if I do, you know what's going to happen? The jury's going to take it out on me. They see the judge as the authority in the case, and he is. He controls how the courtroom works. He controls what evidence gets admitted. He makes legal rulings. There are going to be plenty of times where I disagree with the judge's rulings. And you know what? I can make respectful comments. I can disagree with the judge and tell him respectfully that I disagree, and ask him to reconsider his opinion and give him legal reasons why his reasoning or his ruling is incorrect. That I'm allowed to do. But to get up in his face, to start screaming and yelling and throwing a temper tantrum in the middle of court and being disrespectful to the judge and the clerk and my adversary, that is never going to work. In fact, an attorney who does that is likely going to face fines and sanctions and penalties that the judge is going to impose on the attorney for being totally disrespectful. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight, a behind-the-scenes look at what could happen and what has happened in some very rare instances where attorneys have gone off the handle and have not been able to control themselves, where the judge disagrees with the attorney and the attorney thinks he's totally right and now flies off the handle. You know, I recognize you're watching this video because you likely have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but you have questions that need to be answered first, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.